Today's episode covers electrification strategy, shifting market share in Europe, charging compatibility, YTD EV and PHEV trends, and fresh analyst views on Tesla demand. Keywords: Ford, Universal EV platform, Tesla EU slump, Chinese competition, Supercharger NACS-to-CCS cable, Europe EV sales, Canaccord outlook. Welcome back to Autonews Daily. I'm Leah Morgan. Let's dive into today's headlines. First up, a deep strategic move from Ford. Its Skunkworks team is developing a universal electric vehicle platform aimed at Europe. This is more than a design exercise. It signals an effort to harmonize hardware and software across multiple models and body types so the company can be more agile in responding to local regulations and customer preferences. Working on a Europe-focused platform suggests Ford sees value in tailoring architecture to the region's unique market dynamics, from urban mobility needs to stricter emissions and safety requirements. The implications are broad. A universal platform can reduce engineering costs and shorten development cycles by standardizing key components such as battery integration, thermal management, and electrical architecture while allowing for modularity where differentiation matters. For suppliers and factories, such a move could mean new tooling and closer collaboration early in the vehicle lifecycle. For consumers, it offers the potential for faster rollouts of new EVs at competitive price points. And for the company, it's a bet on scale, building fewer core architectures that can be configured across multiple segments. At the same time, Ford's Skunkworks approach, a focused experimental development hub, suggests the company is prioritizing speed and innovation. That can accelerate pilot programs and proof-of-concept vehicles that, if successful, move quickly to broader production. For incumbents and new entrants watching Europe's EV trajectory, Ford's platform work will be a touchstone for how legacy automakers adapt engineering culture to the demands of the electric era. Turning to the wider marketplace, Tesla's sales in the European Union continue to face headwinds as competition from Chinese manufacturers intensifies. Reports show a sustained slowdown in Tesla's EU volumes relative to prior periods, and the rise of competitive offerings from China is a central theme. Chinese EV brands have been aggressive on price, feature sets, and expanding their international footprints, making the European battleground more contested than in years past. What this means for Tesla and the market at large is important to track. Increased competition pressures pricing strategies and forces faster iteration on technology and ownership propositions, including software features and service. For consumers, choice is growing, and for policymakers and infrastructure planners, the changing landscape affects where investment and incentives deliver the most impact. The broader context is that Europe's EV market is maturing. Consumer expectations are evolving beyond early adopter priorities to include total cost of ownership, charging accessibility, and brand trust, areas where new entrants are trying to make gains. Shifting from market share to infrastructure compatibility, Tesla's charging network is moving toward broader interoperability through hardware that bridges charging standards. The development of a second-generation extension cable that connects Tesla's NACS connector to the CCS standard represents a practical step toward making superchargers usable by a wider set of vehicles. This is a pragmatic response to the reality that Europe largely standardized on CCS, and expanding access to Tesla's fast-charging network can ease charging pain points for many drivers. The practical effect goes beyond a single cable. When charging networks and connectors become more interoperable, it reduces the friction of cross-brand ownership and supports higher utilization of public chargers. For fleet operators, rental services, and drivers traveling across borders, compatibility lowers uncertainty and planning overhead. For network operators, it opens the door to revenue opportunities from a broader customer base, and for automakers, it reduces one barrier to EV adoption. The move also underscores the industry's gradual shift from isolated ecosystems toward cooperative infrastructure solutions, balancing brand strategies with the practical needs of users. Now, looking at the market-wide picture, the year-to-date sales data for electric vehicles and plug-in hybrids in Europe through 2025 sheds light on where consumer demand is gravitating. The aggregated sales trends reflect both growing acceptance of battery electric vehicles and a continued, though variable, role for PHEVs in certain segments and use cases. These patterns are influenced by factors such as local incentives, fuel prices, and the availability of new models across price tiers. Interpreting these numbers requires nuance. High-level growth in EV adoption can mask divergent trends across countries, segments, and income groups. For instance, some markets show particularly strong uptake of compact and affordable electric models. while others continue to favor larger, premium vehicles. PHEVs remain attractive in areas where charging infrastructure is still developing or where buyers want an extended range guarantee, but their share can fluctuate as pure battery electric models become more affordable and charging networks more mature. For manufacturers, understanding these subtleties helps inform product planning, channel strategies, and investments in charging partnerships. Bringing an analyst voice into the conversation, Canaccord Global has weighed in on Tesla's recent demand slowdown, describing it as temporary while adjusting their outlook. The firm's assessment underscores a view that cyclical factors and competitive noise are not necessarily a permanent shift in Tesla's market position. That said, labeling the slowdown temporary does not eliminate the need for Tesla to respond strategically to competition, pricing pressure, and evolving consumer expectations. From an investor and industry perspective, analyst commentary like this matters because it frames expectations for capital allocation, product cadence, and corporate strategy. Market sentiment can influence a company's access to investment and affect how aggressively it pursues price adjustments or new feature rollouts. For observers of the automotive industry, these assessments offer a reminder that even market leaders must continuously adapt and that short-term softness can coexist with long-term opportunity, particularly in a market transitioning as quickly as electric mobility. Like and subscribe. It helps us keep bringing the news to you. Finally, returning to the biggest story of the day. Ford's Skunkworks developing a universal EV platform for Europe is a strategic move that could reshape how the automaker competes in the region. It signals prioritization of modular engineering solutions designed for local needs, potential cost efficiencies through platform consolidation, and a cultural shift toward faster, more experimental development processes. If this effort scales successfully, it could accelerate Ford's ability to launch a broader range of electric models tailored for European customers and run a leaner product architecture globally. That could also influence the competitive dynamics with both legacy rivals and rapid-moving new OEMs. Suppliers will be closely watching platform specifications and partnership opportunities, while dealers and consumers will be watching for the first production vehicles that demonstrate real-world benefits in cost, performance, and features. In short, it's a story with supply chain, manufacturing, and customer experience implications, and one we'll continue to follow as Skunkworks moves from concept to production planning. Thank you for joining Autonews Daily. See you tomorrow.